So you're on a carpet job site. You got everything unrolled and you realize everything is massively short. Follow me on this video. You see everywhere I'm stepping here? That is another unnecessary seam. Boy, I had a case of the Mondays when I figured out this job, but we pulled it off. So in this video, I want to walk you through how to handle situations when the carpet is short, what to do to put everything together, and get to the finish line to get paid. So what's good? It's Carpet Mike here from CarpetExpertBlueprint.com, and yes, indeed, we have seams everywhere. See all the, man, I'm not non-stop, just step, 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 seam, seam, seam. So there was like 9 million seams on this job, but let me walk you through what happened here. This was a multi-phase job. Look at that, unrolled it, and I'm a foot short off the wall already. So when I broke it all down initially, I figured the fill pieces on certain pieces, but when I did different phases, I grabbed the wrong fill piece for the wrong phase, leading me to the very last part of the phase where everything was short. So first things first, we have a cross seam about a foot off of the wall. Now, when you run into a situation where you're short carpet, the most important thing is to keep your cool, not lose your cool, and just focus in on the math of the job. This stuff happens, you know what I'm saying? But you really got to start thinking, okay, I have X number of pieces laying around. How do I put all this together to make it make sense? So first things first, we got that massive cross seam handled. Next, we're going to go ahead and shape out the closet as close as possible every which way. Now, typically, I would funnel all of the seams into the closet, but I also had a hallway, I had a multi-piece fill, so I said, if anything, we're just going to do the multi-piece fill for real, you know what I'm saying? So here is the length stretch on the room where you just see me do that cross seam, pulling that nice and tight so I know exactly what I have to work with there. And then I will go ahead and take all the scrap pieces from everywhere and put that fill piece together. So we got everything locked on, everything's good to go. We're nice and tight. The main shot is down and done. That is the biggest quote unquote eyesore that if the customers walk in and be like, hold up, why are we 2 feet short off of this wall? That's a red flag. After that, the running seams where there's expected to be seams, there's no real questions going to be made about that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's expected to be a seam there anyway. Maybe not a 20-piece seam, but still a seam nonetheless, and you could work with that from that point. We're stretching on the closet here, and then after this, we're going to go ahead and set up the hallway and figure out exactly what we have left over to piece all this together. Now, literally, once you have everything shaped out and you're down to your nitty-gritty type pieces, that's when you really have to start thinking about it. If I cut this here and use that there, where will I be short over here? So take your time. You might want to have a pencil and pen, pad, all that good stuff out, and start mathing it out. And I know carpet guys ain't good at no math, you know what I'm saying? That's why their bank accounts are always overdrawn. But you want to take the time to figure this out so you could go ahead and get to the finish line, like I said, and get that delicious check. So now we're going to go ahead and prep the running seam. This is the one where we're going to do a multi-piece fill just to get things done, and we're going to go ahead and lay out all the scraps to go ahead and see what we have to work with, what we can use where, and then create the best case scenario. Now, on this multi-piece fill, there is a bed going on here, right? So you see how I lined up that first part of the seam there, and I cut as close as possible to the wall, and I'm lining these up to where I have on my cross seams basically like a 1/2 inch overlap, if that, just enough for me to clean that edge and get it put back together. Also, super duper thick plush on this one, or thick frise I should say, so way easy to hide the seams. I ain't even gonna say it. This dude named Trent, he has this saying where if you mess up the seams on these carpet, we ain't even gonna say use to say I get demonetized instantly. But yeah, Trent's got a dope line for that if you can't seam frise carpets. So anyway, putting all this together now. We're going to do our cross seams one at a time. We're going to go ahead and throw a straight edge on that one, notch this one out, put it together, drop the seam tape under there, burn that in place. Let that iron sit in spot for, 8 to 10 seconds. Slide it down, swoop it out, biggity bam, everything's good. Go ahead and do the next one. Same exact scenario. Just take the bare minimum on this so we have exactly what we need to get all of the carpet covered. And spoiler alert, we did pull it off. But that is basically the purpose of this video. Is this happens. It doesn't matter if you're selling a job, if you're working for a store, salesperson broke it down wrong. Look, jobs end up short from time to time. In many cases, if you're creative and strategic, you will get to the finish line just like we did in this one. So take your time, do your math, get that check, and move on to the next.